If you watched this video I made previously, we discussed that cold press juicing retains most of the nutrients as well as provides a better volume and quality of juice compared to other juicers. So today let's take a look at everything you can do with a cold press juicer using the Hestia Nutri-Max cold press juicer, who has kindly sponsored this video. I'm going to show you 3 things that you can do. The first is vegetable and fruit juices. Second is sorbets and smoothies. And third is nut milks. Towards the end, I will also talk about cleaning, which, gauging from the questions on various different cold press juicing products, is a concern for many people. Let's first assemble your cold press juicer, which takes less than a minute. Place the juicing bowl and match it with the triangle. Match the strainer, juicing screw and the feeding tube to the red dots to close it. It's that simple. The Hestia Nutri-Max has one of the largest feeding tube diameters of 75 mm. So you don't really need to cut your veggies and fruits that much. If you haven't cut it, the feeding tube has a blade as well, which can cut big pieces, in which case you may need to use the pusher to push the fruits and vegetables in. There are different strainers for different types of juices. The fine strainer for fruit and vegetable juice and a dessert strainer for sorbets and smoothies. I'll show you when to use what later on. The strainers are included as a part of the product itself and don't need to be purchased separately. First, let's talk about fruit and vegetable juices. I love a good ABC juice, apple, beetroot and carrot. Add a little bit ginger and it's yum. In fact, this is one juice I can have any day at any time. You get to consume so much more vegetables than you would if you just eat them. So this one glass of ABC juice has 2 beetroots, 4 carrots and 1 apple. You can also add a little bit of spinach if you want to get some greens. When you're using more than one ingredient, you can keep the smart cap closed so that the different ingredients mix well together. A cold press juicer runs at a low RPM, the Nutri-Max having one of the lowest RPMs of 46. So the sound from the cold press juicer is really low. This also helps to minimize oxidation of the juice, making sure the juice does not separate and has a rich color. It presses and grinds the ingredients instead of cutting it, helping it to retain most of the nutrients of the fruit and vegetable. The pulp from juicing gets collected in the pulp cup and you can see there is very little water or juice in the pulp. It has nicely extracted all the juice from the fruits and vegetables. And the texture, color and taste of the juice is incredible.
Cheers!
Next, let's talk about nut milks. You can use any nut of your choice, soy, cashew, almond milk or even coconut like I'm using here today. How expensive are store-made alternatives? If you're using nuts, soak the nut that you want to use for a minimum of 3 hours. Overnight is preferred. I'm going to make coconut milk as we use that quite a bit in our cooking. Here we will use the fine filter again that we used for juicing. Add coconut and water alternatingly to get coconut milk. Add more or less water based on your preferred texture for the coconut milk. You can then use the pulp generated for cooking as well. Next, let's talk about sorbets and smoothies. If you need to get a sweet fix without really getting a dessert, a frozen fruit sorbet is perfect. Let's try it with frozen mangoes as it is the season. So I'm going to peel and cut about 3 to 4 mangoes, keeping them in the freezer overnight. I'll let it thaw for about 10 to 15 minutes. From the juicer, replace the fine filter that we used for juicing with the dessert filter. Just add the frozen mangoes to the Hestia Nutri-Max cold press juicer and your sorbet and your sweet fix is ready. Lastly, let's come to the most boring part for most of us, cleaning the juicer. The good thing is it is relatively easy. After you're done with juicing, just add about 500 ml of water, keeping the smart cap open. Most of the pulp will come out of the juicer. Repeat with dishwasher liquid if required. Remove each part and rinse. Brush the strainer as required. Once in a while, you can soak the strainers in warm water overnight and brush it to keep the pores in the strainer clear. You can also add it to the dishwasher if you like, as all parts of the Hestia Nutri-Max cold press juicer are dishwasher safe. Hestia Nutri-Max was one of the products I recommended in my video on cold press juicer way before they sent me their product to review. Not only do they offer the best diameter in the feeding tube and one of the lowest RPM, the Hestia Nutri-Max also offers the best-in-class warranty of 10 years. If you're still confused about cold press juicer versus centrifugal juicers, watch this video next where I break it down in detail. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.